This is a Dynaway step-by-step guide on how to create assets through migrating existing assets. After you have completed the wizard, Set up Assets and Users and Settings Assisted Setup, get started with Dynaway EAM, where you have set up asset statuses, conditions, categories, and locations. You are ready to create assets through migration. Go to Settings Assisted Setup. Then go to Migrate Data to Dynaway EAM and select Migrate Assets. The Migrate Assets wizard is now open. Follow the instructions listed. The first step is to download the Excel template. When you open the Excel file, you can see 4 tabs where you can fill in your existing asset data. You only need to fill in your asset information in the Asset tab to migrate your assets. The rest of the tabs are optional and can be filled in at any time. In the Asset spreadsheet, fill in your existing asset data one by one, or copy existing data from another source into the document. Remember that statuses, conditions, categories, and locations must exist in EAM to be used here, as mentioned in Step 1. You can use column G to fill in parent number and thereby create your asset tree, which is a hierarchical structure of assets in EAM. If you don't want to fill in the optional spreadsheets in the other tabs right now, you can migrate your assets right away. Skip to Step 14 to see how to migrate your assets. Otherwise, follow the next steps to fill in the rest of the spreadsheets. In the Asset Item tab, you can connect items to assets. Enter an item number and an asset that either already exists in EAM, or an asset you have specified in the Asset tab in Step 5 to connect them. If needed, you can fill in a variant code as well as quantity for items. Go to Asset Attributes to start filling in attributes. Enter which assets you want to assign attributes to. You can enter either existing assets in EAM or assets you have specified in the Asset tab in Step 5. Then fill in the attribute name and the attribute value. Lastly, go to the tab Fixed Asset Relation to connect assets with Business Central's fixed assets. Fill in either existing assets in EAM or assets you have specified in the Asset tab in Step 5. Then fill in the number of a fixed asset you want your asset to be connected to. If needed, you can fill in the start date of the mapping relation. Now you're ready to migrate your asset data to EAM. Go back to Assisted Setup and click Next. A window is now open where you need to drop your Excel file. Here you can double-check that the number of records are correct before clicking Migrate. Your data will now be migrated to EAM.